were concerned that I brought in 38 players for camp, but I wanted to work at least 2 to 3 days with the local players because the bulk of the international players only arrived. Some arrived yesterday and some arrived like last night and 2 days ago. So I had to at least work with the local players to see which ones are good enough to be able to play against Congo. I know that some people are not happy with the selection, but I think people need to understand. I select players that, not individual players per se. I need to select players that would fit into the way I want us to play against Congo. So you can imagine now, I just speak for the sake of picking. But against Congo, we will play in a different way to deal with the physicality, to deal with their strength, to deal with their transition is so quick, to deal with their wing play. So those are the factors that, and the ammunition that Congo has. So I need to find players that can deal with all that Congo is going to bring us. So people should understand that I don't necessarily pick players for the sake of playing. I have a way I want to play against Congo, and I need to find those players that can do the job against Congo. So it's not about just individual players. And this is a team sport. I need to make sure I have the right sitters or the blockers. I need the right fullbacks. I need the right strikers that can press up high. Those are the kind of players that I need. So how do you pick players just because someone said it on Facebook? His girlfriend and his wife must play. I cannot, it goes behind my, that people will say those kind of things. So we need to understand that it's pressure, and how do we deal with Congo. And you must remember, as much as I'm selecting players that's going to deal with the pressure that Congo give us, we must also have players that can run at Congo. Because we're not going there to sit back. We're not going there to play a low block. We're going there to compete. And if there's space, we want the players that can attack the space so that we have at least offensive options as well as defensive options. So I want people to really understand that for me, it's nothing personal. I told the girls this morning, the players that are good enough to play for this team, they will play. But they have to work to get into this team. You'll see even now, after this match, we are dropping more players because I need to make sure that we take the best players to Congo. 8 players in 4 days, I would say is a lot. But it comes with a job. And I have a plan, and I stick to that plan. If players can't give me, if I see, we have players now that struggles with what I want from them theoretically. Think about it. If they don't understand me now, how will they understand me when Congo is running at them? So I don't take those ones. If players are not physically fit, Congo with transition moments, their midfield is very strong, they're very strong on the wings, they will go past us very quickly. So I need players that are fit enough to be in this team. So I've dropped a lot of players that were not fit enough to play against Congo. And then obviously it's not just about fitness, it's also about they need to understand the way, the philosophy that I want to play, the offensive, the transitions, defensive behavior. They have to understand this. But 4 days is almost impossible. But it's part of the job. So I need to do miracles, and what I see, I see. If I ask a player a question, a theory question, what would you do? How will we play against a low block? And she starts thinking, it's now 5 minutes. It tells me, against Congo, it's going to happen like that. I need someone to say, coach, we need to do this, we need to create what, we need to penetrate this way, this way, this way. So I need players that comes here. It's not just for bringing players into camp or bring them into the national. They have to understand this game. And I find this to be a big challenge. Last night we had a video session about how we want to build up play, how we want to play the attacking third, how we want to play in the middle third, but some of them are struggling to understand. So those players I can't take with us because they will struggle understanding me there, and there's more pressure coming from Congo. So I really want to ask the people of Uganda, please just be patient. This is a process. I'm trying to pick a team that we know now will be the foundation of Crested Cranes. They will form the basis of Crested Cranes. We're playing World Cup qualifiers WAFCON qualifiers, hopefully in the FIFA window of February, April, May, and WAFCON is July. So now we're playing in November, we're playing another friendly, and the bulk of these players with the local players, they need to form part of the team, and we need to build from here. You'll see in November, there will not be a squad of 38, because I need it. I go every week into the league matches. I saw a player from Marines. I saw a player from Olila. I saw a few from She Corporate. And I need to bring them in so they can see where I'm going. What is it that I'm doing? I know that I might not take them because they're lacking the experience, they lack the exposure, they lack fitness, they lack the theory of the game. But I need to give them a chance to come into camp because they showed me something during the game. I have a player here from Marines. She is going to be one of the best players that we have in the midfield. But she needs time. But this exposure, the fact that I called her in, is good exposure for her. It will give her the confidence. She will go back with what she's learned here over the past 4 days. So that's why it's important. Bring in local players. Every camp will bring in local players. I could have brought in 2 goalkeepers. Does it make sense? No. I bring in 6. Why am I bringing 6? So that they can learn from the other coaches how we're building up under pressure and how we're building up in open play. So they can go back there, the goalkeepers, and do it at the clubs. So we will, every time, we will bring in local players so that they can at least start playing with the international players. But the aim is WAFCON July. That's where we're going. That's a really question. I think you can't just say they all act the same. Some have good theory of the game. Some struggle with the theory of the game. Some have fitness. Some struggle with fitness. I look at those components and then I look at their decision making within the field of play. If I say to a player, I want you to build up in the defensive third, and her first touch is every time on the inside. She tells me, and she does it consistently. 3 times the first touch is inside. She's going to do that against Congo, so I don't take her. If I had 2 weeks with her, I will teach her how to receive the ball correctly. Does it make sense? So this is almost 4 days, it's like an emergency. Whatever I see they can do, I can take. But I don't have time to fix him now. We've got 4 days, so I just got to take what I can and what the information they're giving me in terms of the decision making, the way they can express themselves on the field. I pick only those that can go compete. In 4 days, next week we're back. We have to win. I don't think any team goes into a match and say we're going there to lose. We have to win. And the main reason is, for me, it's not about the score. We could even lose. I don't mind. It's about what we've worked on for the past 4 days. Is that working? Is my offensive strategies, is that working? Is our transition play, how we deal with the transition, is that working? Is our defensive, is that working? That's all I'm interested in. And from here, we go November against another country. And then from November, we go to Feb, and that's how it will be the same. Now, if you come to my camp, you can come to my camp at any time. You'll see from a defensive point of view, it is the same. I want to play a certain way, so I want to play. Every camp will be the same defensive strategies. But the key here for them to play it, I need the players to be able to understand it. But there was no time. So I pick what I see, and let's hope. But the aim is to win. It's always to win. And that will give us the confidence to go forward, looking forward, and it will give players the confidence. Fazila is here. I've seen Fazila now for the first time in my life. I've seen Resti for the first time in my life. I see Sandra for the first time in my life. So now I've got to see, they can give me something. The same with the local players. The local players that I've brought in. It's the first time I see them really now in the national. So some need time, but surely the international players, they just on another level. And I'm looking forward to see what we can do against Congo. I know it's going to be tough. It's going to be very humid. They've got height. They've got height up front, the 2 centre backs. They've got strong 7 and 17, very explosive the wing. They've got number 21 that can hold the play. She runs and she presses high. Every time she's pressing high. So we've done a lot of those things to see that the players can deal pressing. How do we deal with pressure from the back? So we did all those kind of things in 4 days. I know it's a lot, but we have to teach them.